everyone, long time no see. It's been quite a long time since I've made a video. I don't have a good excuse for that other than that I've been kind of busy and I haven't prioritized making videos, which I apologize for. So I am back with what is just basically a collective what I've been melting, what I've been warming. And it's not even comprehensive because, to be honest, I haven't been the best about setting aside what I've been melting. So this is what I did manage to set aside and like consciously thought about. So it's not everything, but it's a good mix of brand wax and vendor wax. We have some goods, we have some bads, and we have some terribles. And we have some that were just okay too. So we'll start with the brand wax, starting with something new for this summer. This is Yankee Candles on the Green, Pear and Water Lily, part of their Sun and Games collection. I did pick up one other melt cup. So this is a melt cup. I picked up one other melt cup in that collection. I think it's called By the Pool. I have not melted By the Pool yet. So when I do, I'll do my best to get a video out, relatively quickly. Hopefully I can kind of pick up doing these videos again more frequently. So on the Green, Pear and Water Lily. Beautiful. This is beautiful. On cold, right? That's why I bought it in the store. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I get a little bit of the pear, but mostly it's a very fresh, watery, light floral fragrance. I get some greens in here as well, a greenery note. And I don't have the scent notes in front of me. I'm sorry about that. It's wonderful. It's probably one of the best summer fragrances I've smelled from them in a long time. Unfortunately, this had zero throw, and this is a melt cup. So that's not common for me to have like absolutely no throw from a melt cup. This is my worst melt cup. I can confidently say this is my worst melt cup experience ever. I watched a video on Sarita's channel. What's her channel name? Is it the Candle Channel? I can't remember her channel name. Is it Coffee and Candles? Maybe Coffee. Either way, I watched a video on Sarita's channel where she talked about this fragrance, and she purchased it in the melt cup as well. And my goodness, she had the same experience. In fact, I think she worded it, oh, here's my kitty coming to say hi. I think she worded it as like this sucked fragrance from the room. Like this was negative fragrance. And it sounds so silly, but like I couldn't agree more with that description, because I mean, there was just nothing. There was nothing. I could hover my nose over the warmer and I was getting nothing. Yeah, it was like, wow, what a disappointment. I don't know what happened with this. I thought I honestly was like just totally convinced I had a dud, and honestly considered taking this back and being like, this had no, I mean, normally I don't do that. If I've used it, I don't take it back unless there's a really good reason. I mean, this, I felt there was actually a good reason. I really thought I had a dud, but it sounds like from Sarita's experience with it, no, it's just that terrible. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to bring it back or not, but huge disappointment. Can't say how this would perform in other formats, but as I've said before, usually melt cup format is my best bet for getting good performance. So if it didn't do well in this format, I really think there's like no hope for it being in candle form. So yeah, that's on the Green. Okay. Other things I've melted. So I have a Scentsy here. Scentsy, Bring Back My Bar, Zen Garden. I can't remember if I've talked about this one or not. I finished this bar now. This is really nice. It's a really nice, fresh spa fragrance. Some light white floral notes in here, but nothing powdery, nothing overwhelming, nothing old lady perfume. Just a really beautiful, fresh spa fragrance, just as it sounds. there's just something in here that's almost like, reminds me of like, you know, those smooth stones that they use to like, for like a hot stone massage. There's something that like smells like that to me. It's crazy. Anyway, good performer. Now, I did primarily melt this in the bedroom and the bathroom. So, you know, it's, my bedroom is small, the bathroom is small. It's kind of, normally things will perform pretty well in there if they have any ability to do so. So I'm not, this is a little light and I'm not totally sure how it would have done in a larger space though. So I give warning to that. So, okay. I have a Kringle's Country Candle line, which to my understanding is going away. So that's sad to hear, but I have Harvest Moon. Now, this is obviously more of a fall wax melt, but I was just in the mood for it. And it was awesome. It's more of like a midnight, like I feel like this isn't necessarily, it's spicy. There's like a spiciness to it, maybe a little bit of black pepper. There's some other things going on in here as well. Maybe some clove perhaps. But then there's a fresh kind of Midsummer's Night by Yankee smell to this as well. So it's almost like taking Midsummer's Night and taking it up a step, adding something a little bit spicy and a little bit deeper. Yeah, it was, I melted half of it and it performed really well. I melted this in the bedroom. It performed really well in the bedroom. Next up we have another Yankee Woodland Weekend Memories. Yeah, this was just okay. So this is actually kind of light as I'm smelling it on cold, and it was light. It was light performance-wise too. But there's a musk note in here that I'm not liking. I'm not liking. I mean, I get where they're trying to take this with like the warm sweater kind of vibe, but I'm realizing less and less I can tolerate musk. And I'll give another example, a non-brand wax example. So then moving on to some of the vendor wax. This is Rose Girls Bayside Tigers. This is from a few years ago. Palo Santo, Marshmallow Fireside, and Vanilla Lace. So I like Palo Santo. I like Marshmallow Fireside. I smell those things in here. But I get the Vanilla Lace as well, and I think my nose is like turned against it a little bit. Now there's almost something headache inducing about that Vanilla Lace, about that musk. Yeah, there's something I just don't like about it anymore. So overall, I think that this is a good blend. And 3 years later, it's performed really well. I put 4 of these little chunks in my hot plate warmer in the bedroom. And as I said, it's not a big bedroom. And it like blew me out of the room, which is what I love from my wax. But in this case, because I'm a little unsure of the Vanilla Lace, I was like, whoa, wasn't expecting that. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to avoid that in things going forward. And as far as for Yankee, unfortunately, they tend to put musk in a lot of their fragrances, especially as we at their fall collections. So, you know, but like again, I could go on a rant about Yankee again, and I'm not going to. Okay. Pharmacist's Daughter, I melted Room Service, which is Fluffy Towels, Blue Sugar, Rosemary Mint, and Fierce Cologne type. So even for this having a cologne in it, it is not cologne heavy, or honestly hardly cologne at all. Really what I get more so is Blue Sugar, Rosemary Mint, and a hint of laundry. It's really, and it's not like a sharp laundry. It's just kind of like Fluffy Towels by Yankee, like that warm, fresh, clean towel smell. It's lovely. It's amazing. And it performed well. It performed really well in the bedroom. No complaints here. I would get more of this for sure. Just a beautiful fresh scent. Fresh, just feels like, feels like you have a nice, clean, warm home. Okay. Okay. Savannah Blue Blackberry Green Tea. This is really nice. So this is like a sweet drink. It's not sharp. It's more of like a fruity drink more than it is a green tea, if that makes sense. It's not a tart blackberry either. It's a sweet blackberry with like a sugary note and then a hint of a green tea note. It almost comes off a little bit like effervescent too. Yeah, really nice. Really nice. If you like your fruity, fizzy drink fragrances, I think you'd really enjoy this. And this was a heck of a performer. Had this melting in the living room, and it was absolutely fantastic. I had no doubt the entire time I had this in the warmer until it eventually wore off, that it was there. You didn't go nose blind to this one, which was just a fantastic experience. So, okay. And then another Savannah Blue Carnival on the Boardwalk. This is strawberry, peach, and strawberry and peach saltwater taffy. Yeah, fruity, taffy. It's a kind of like a peach ring, gummy, artificial peach, which in this mixture is okay. It's what I would expect. It's supposed to mimic candy. This makes me want to eat candy. This makes me want to eat saltwater taffy. It smells like, strawberry and peach saltwater taffy. I gotta stop smelling this. I'm gonna start craving candy. Okay, so this is really good and also an excellent performer. Okay, so then Sassy Girl Aroma, I melted Driscoll. So this is a bowl of fresh picked strawberries, whipped cream, and white cake. So I had a ton of this left because when I melted this, this is probably 3 years old. And when I melted this in our open concept house, I could not smell it at all. I recently put 4 cubes of this in my hot plate warmer in my bedroom, and it performed excellent. So this really needs a smaller space, and maybe it benefited from some cure time as well. And now thinking about that, but this is gorgeous. This is like a sugary. So my grandmother we used to go strawberry picking, and then she would, we'd cut up the strawberries and add the sugar, and she would freeze them and use them in various desserts throughout the year. And that's what this reminds me of. It's a authentic strawberry, but a sugary strawberry. And then a bit of a whipped cream note in here as well, like fresh whipped cream. And my kitty's coming to say hi again. So this is really good. But again, with melting this, now it is 3 years old, so I honestly would have thought it would have lost some of its fragrance. But, truly, I remember really struggling to get performance a couple of years ago, and now, it did really well. So happy about that, and we'll definitely probably start making my way through this pretty quickly during this summer, because strawberry, I always think of strawberry when I think of summer. So and then lastly, I have a couple of scoops from L3 Waxy Wonders. I have Rainwater Blackberry Chocolate Orchid. So this is quite perfumey. Not in a bad way, not in like a terribly overwhelming way, but it is, I guess, more perfumey than I thought it was going to be when I purchased it. I thought it was going to be more of like a genuine orchid smell or like a genuine floral, and it's like powdery floral. powdery, perfumey floral. I don't really get any blackberry in here. If I'm getting blackberry, I guess it would more so be like the stems, like the blackberry plant, like the stems, not really the blackberry itself. And then there's a freshness that I'm guessing is the rainwater, like an ozone note. Yeah, performance-wise, it didn't do great. I actually had this in the bathroom because I knew it was going to be perfumey based on cold, and I thought, that would be a good place for it. But it was really pretty light in there. So I've been having some issues with my L3 lately. I don't know if it was just this particular batch, but it's been on the lighter side for me, which is really historically not at all my experience with L3. They've always performed really well. Sometimes topping other brands to the point where if I was like iffy about doing a pre-order because I had some inconsistent results with performance from other vendors, I would opt to do like an L3 order, or I would do an L3D stash, and because I just knew I was going to get good performance. And yeah, I don't know, lately it's been like a little I don't know, maybe it was just this one batch. I know she was thinking about closing down production for a while, or permanently. She was thinking about like closing the business. And that's when I did this order. And then she has since decided to continue the business. I haven't purchased anything yet. So I don't know if, maybe this was just kind of like she was using up oils. And so maybe the concentration wasn't the same as it had been. But now that she's back in full production, things are back to normal. I'm not totally sure. So, and then lastly, espresso blueberry fresh baked bread. This is really good. And this was a decent performer for me. I wouldn't say it was amazing, but it was a medium throw. Medium strength and throw. Yeah, so this is just smells to me like coffee and a blueberry muffin. Coffee and a blueberry muffin. The blueberry muffin comes through first, and then you get just a touch of like a robust dark roast sort of coffee smell. So if you kind of like coffee, but you're a little bit iffy on coffee, you might enjoy this because it isn't like super heavy on the coffee. The blueberry muffin is, I get it's blueberry fresh baked bread, but I mean, it smells like blueberry muffin. And that comes through first, and then, and the blueberry is, so on cold, I don't know, the blueberry is coming off as like kind of leaning a bit artificial. But when it was warmed, it really was like an authentic, you had, like, I would have thought I had blueberry muffins in the oven. So, yeah. So that's that. So that is everything that I thought to set aside. I've melted more. It's up in my cabinet. I just don't know what I've already talked about and what I haven't, because I mixed all the other things that I've melted in with the rest of my wax. I haven't like set them aside as I normally do when I'm planning to do, a combination or a collection of reviews in a video. So I'll have to kind of sort through things and figure out what I've already talked about, and what what would be new for me to chat about on here. So that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think what I might have coming up as far as new wax or new videos. I did go to my Yankee outlet to smell the garden collection that they have out, like tomato vine or golden tomato vine, something like that. Was probably the only fragrance that I was really intrigued by in that collection, because it actually genuinely smelled like tomato vine. But it's not available, and I don't know if it ever will be. At least in my store, it wasn't available in any other format besides the candle. And I'm just not buying any more candles from Yankee. So I mean, maybe I would consider it if it goes on clearance eventually for a really discounted price, but not at not at full price, definitely not at full price, and not even at sale price. So if anyone's melted or well, if anyone's burned that tomato vine fragrance, I would love to know what you thought about it. If it was worthwhile, did it smell the same on warm as it did on cold? Because I thought it was fantastic for Yankee. It seemed like they were stepping outside of their box a little bit, and maybe using more genuine, more, you know, natural oils, because it was just such a true to life tomato vine smell. So anyway, I did that recently, and I do plan to go to Rose Girl's open house on Wednesday. She moved it to Wednesday, so I should have the time to do that. So I'm most likely going to then return home with a little haul, which I will video if I get over there, assuming I get over there. Otherwise, yeah, there's a couple pre-orders coming up. So Dessa's Homespun Scents is having a pre-order that I may indulge in, and then Teddy Bees is having a ready to ship as well. So I want to watch some of those Teddy Bees hauls when the YouTubers get their orders, to see what I might be interested in and see if I want to purchase some of those fragrances in the RTS. But yeah, so that's my updates as far as my wax goes. If you melted any of these fragrances that I talked about in this video, I'd love to know your thoughts. If you've melted, and also if you've melted anything in Yankee Candle's new garden collection other than tomato vine that you thought was worthwhile, I'd love to hear about it too, because again, I've had some tough experiences with them lately. You know, this one in particular with this melt cup not performing, which is like, that was my final, okay, at least I get performance out of the melt cups so I can buy the melt cups, and it's like, is that going to become inconsistent now? You know, that's worrying me. Like, now do I have anything from Yankee that's going to perform decently for me? So I'll probably melt by the pool some point this weekend and see how that does, because now I'm just super curious if this was just like a one-off kind of situation, or if it's like everything in that collection that's now going to perform poorly in the melt cups. So we'll see. I'll probably get around to doing that and then hopefully making a video. But yeah, thank you for watching, and hope everyone is having a lovely Thursday evening. Or I guess it's Friday morning now, technically. All right, thanks guys.